Mike Zhao is the author of Critical Race Theory and Woke Culture, America's Dangerous Repeat of China's Cultural Revolution. He is a nationally recognized Asian American community leader and president of the Asian American Coalition for Education, otherwise known as ACE. He recently spoke at an anti-affirmative action rally in D.C., where the U.S. Supreme Court is on the cusp of striking down race-based affirmative action. The ruling would be the culmination of an 8-year-long fight by Zhao and Students for Fair Admissions. It was back in 2015 when he and his colleagues filed suit against Harvard. Mike Zhao joins us now with a closer look at the upcoming ruling and what it would mean for all Americans. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So when are we expected to see this ruling?
Please. Or June of next year, basically. I think the earliest will be next spring, but very likely will be June of 2023.
Zhao believes that using race in college admissions is wrong because he believes it unjustly imposes higher admission standards on certain students.
We don't want our children to be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character and their merit.
He specifically contends that affirmative action is unconstitutional and illegal because of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution.
Politicians and policymakers should focus on how to improve K-12 education for blacks and Hispanic Americans, not using Asian Americans as scapegoats to cover up your policy failure.
While the Supreme Court decision is top of mind for Zhao, he's also sounding the alarm on other issues. His book, Critical Race Theory and Woke Culture, America's Dangerous Repeat of China's Cultural Revolution, is based on his first-hand experience of growing up in communist China. In it, he describes how he believes the radical left is using the Maoist playbook to destroy America. He specifically outlines similar tactics used by Mao and the radical left, which include employing divisive Marxist ideologies, changing cultural values, rewriting history, indoctrinating citizens, and silencing opposition.
I am a survivor of Chinese Communist Cultural Revolution. My father suffered political persecution extended to my whole family, and what I see a striking similarity, happening here in what happened in China about 50 years ago. I see striking similarity, even the term is the same. The woke culture. Woke is not actually invented in America. We already had that 50 years ago in China, when somebody was indoctrinated by communist ideology, and then we call that person have 觉悟 means woke. Here the same. So I see striking similarity. That's the reason I wrote that book, to really expose radical left is using the playbook of communist China to destroy America.
Zhao believes if we don't begin to cherish and uphold America's founding principles, including individual rights and freedom of speech, he sees devastating consequences.
I grew up in a dictatorship. During Cultural Revolution, my father suffered political persecution. He lost freedom, endured torture, and also forced labor for over 5 years. But this political persecution did not stop there. Extended to my grandparents, simply because they used to be the landlords. They were deprived the to live in the city. They were forced to relocate to a poor mountain village where they had water, no electricity, no nearby clinic. A few months later, my grandma suffered heart attack, and because this kind of extreme poverty, political persecution, my mom also passed away at a very young age of only 47. That's kind of life I experienced. And then so I really don't want my children and all Americans to endure.